Have you ever touched, smelt, grown a basil plant? Put up your hand. Yep. And how many times have you gone to smell that basil or use that basil? It is warm and spicy and just such a beautiful spice to be able to integrate into your cooking, into your life. But have you ever thought beyond the properties of basil when it comes to delicious tastes and how it can help support you in um, calming feelings of overwhelm, bring you back to center when you're feeling scattered, if you're feeling overworked? Basil is one of my favorite essential oils. I use the doTERRA basil, and this basil is something that I will use on a regular basis. Why? Because as a mother, as an entrepreneur, as someone who runs my business, there is always a lot going on in my life in terms of busyness, and I am needed in 20 places at once. And for me, in order to be able to show up properly, I want to feel centered and calm, and I need to feel refreshed. So basil is the oil of renewal, and it helps support me. The aroma, I'm going to smell it right now. Oh, it smells exactly like a huge basil plant, a huge fresh basil plant. And when I have this aroma, it helps me bring me back to center. Working with the ancestors who used to cultivate the land, I've been told, used to call that, say that the basil brings a scorpion into your mind. Now, although I'm not really excited about that sentence, but it really means that when you see something, you're focused. So it helps support you in bringing in this focus. It also comes from the Latin word, or the Greek word actually, of royal or king. And so basil reminds you of your own royalty, meaning your own preciousness, your own needs to help support yourself. And that is what I use this basil for. The ancestors also used to believe that in certain countries that basil helped to transition between the worlds, between between our human world and the ancestral world. And so I also use basil besides my own calming and connecting, with that intention of just having me calm and connected. But when I am like this, I can do my job better. I can help communicate with the ancestors and support them. And so this is just one of my favorite heavy hitters in terms of what it gives to me. It gives the gift of devotion, and it not only do I feel how basil devotes itself to me, but I also realize that it helps me devote my time, my energy, and my focus into myself so that I can just show up in the best ways possible. So I highly recommend using basil. And how do you use it? Well, with the doTERRA basil, there are ways that you can use it in your cooking, different aspects like this. But I am going to show you a practice that I use in just a moment. The first thing I want to introduce you to in essential oils is starting to get to know the plants, starting to get to know them themselves. So if you don't have the basil essential oil yet, maybe you have some basil in your house, or you can bring up the memory of basil. Let's just take a few moments to remember the basil. So I'll get you to either grab your basil essential oil, and if you have it, just start to take an inhale and an exhale. If it's the herb, maybe rub it in between your fingers and start to smell the oils, because that's the essential oil from the leaf on your finger. Notice its warmth, its spiciness. It feels calming, and yet it balances the sensation of fatigue with that extra little spice, giving us that spice of life. It's really balancing for those moments where you feel like you need more energy, for those moments where you feel like you need that calming, supportive hug. There's a lot of depth to it. And if you don't have this, just recall a memory of smelling basil. Just let it be with you for a moment. Introducing yourself to it. I know this can feel silly, but this is how we start to get to know beyond the physical aspects that essential oils can support us with, get to know the emotions and how they resonate with us. Good. Take one more inhale or moment with your basil and exhale. So for me, it's like a come here, a come back to yourself. So here is a practice that I do with basil to help me not only integrate that aroma, but help my body integrate into the delights and the connections and the renewal that basil offers. Here's the practice. I take a little bit of fractionated coconut oil. So I have a squirt, but you could put like a few drops. doTERRA sells this as well. And then I take my basil essential oil, doTERRA brand, and I put 1 drop in my palms. I rub it together and I put it over top of my kidney area. So I'm going to just show you here. It's just around this section of your back. And I place it there and I rub it in and it feels nice and warm and beautiful. Once it's all rubbed in, I take an inhale with my hands. Oh, I do it 3 times. That is the main thing. The bonus is this beautiful exercise that I've learned to be able to support the energy of the kidneys. Okay, your kidney chi. And you place your hands over your kidneys. So exactly where you rub the oil, you bring your feet wider apart. You lean back a little bit and then you circle. So you're gonna come down and up. And I like to take nice little breaths so you can inhale here, exhale down, inhaling up. Good, we'll do one more time in this direction. And go in the other direction. So going down, inhaling up, nice and slow. I mean, you can go a little bit faster, but you might get dizzy. Going down, so you're bending down, letting your head hang, arching your back as you come up. One more time. Good. And that's it. So that is my basil practice to support from feeling overwhelmed, to allow yourself to feel that basil renewal and really help to support your energy. If you like it and you need a basil, then you can definitely purchase with me. There's a link below. If you already have a doTERRA account with me, then absolutely just log into your membership site and purchase that right away. If you need any questions, let me know.